Um, so I'll be honest, I never thought I would be making this video. I never thought I would be making this video in particular about this person, or anything like this concerning this person, but yeah, let's address the elephant in the room with season 3 of The Dragon Prince literally a few weeks away. So at least 3 people have come out talking about ehasz and his emotional abuse towards women. And let me just, like, I know a lot of people are probably like, well, you're not, like, a fan, so you're just saying this lightly or something. No, I've been a fan of Avatar The Last Airbender since it was still airing. At first, I wasn't a fan of it because I thought it was just going to be, like, some boring action show, and I'm not an action fan, I am a romance fan. And then one day it was on, and I was like, well, nothing else is on, so I might as well watch this. And I was hooked in one episode. And ehasz is the head writer of Avatar The Last Airbender. So that had a huge influence on the show, as you can see from the difference between how Avatar The Last Airbender was handled and how Legend of Korra was handled. I was very excited for the Dragon Prince to redeem what was lost with Legend of Korra. I am not a Legend of Korra fan for many other reasons. If you want me to talk about that, I can talk about that in another video. This isn't about that though. So when the Dragon Prince was announced to come out, and it was created by the head writer of Avatar The Last Airbender, I was hyped. My expectations were high, and then when it came out, they were met and exceeded. And again, ehasz is a big part of why, because it has the exact same feel of Avatar The Last Airbender, almost as if it was a sequel. Regardless, I think it was like a week ago or 2 weeks ago or something like that. 3 different women who have worked for the studio, one of them who ran the fan account, and it was recently switched over to, I believe, is her name Lulu? I think she's the one running the fan account now, or maybe it's somebody else, I don't know. But all 3 of these women have quit and said it was because of mental health reasons. And they recently came forward with why their mental health was affected so much by working on The Dragon Prince and in the Wonderstorm studio. And it was as a direct result of ehasz being manipulative and an emotional abuser and gaslighting, which his response to everything came out a few days ago, and it was, I will put it right here, and I will also put the screenshots of the tweets. You can still find them, they're up on Twitter, but I will put the screenshots of everything right here. There is a lot. But ehasz's response was not the best. It was pretty much like, I'm so sorry that people feel this way, and I would never do anything to harm another person or something. It was something like that. I don't remember. It was really a crappy apology. I also, when the Dragon Prince season 3 trailer dropped, made a reaction video to that. It is no longer up on my Instagram page as of the time of me reading about what happened with Wonderstorm and the girls. And at this point, not sure if I'm even going to watch season 3. At least not on the day that it airs. And so let's talk about that. As I said, I've been a fan of Avatar: The Last Airbender ever since it was still airing. Still a big, huge fan of Avatar: The Last Airbender. And a huge fan of the Dragon Prince. So when this came out, my first thought was, I can't believe this. My second thought was, well, now I can no longer with confidence enjoy or continue watching The Dragon Prince. And there have been a lot of people who have said, I know that Aaron Ehasz has been found out as an abuser and a manipulator, a gaslighter, but we can't stop watching the show because that will cost other people their jobs. And my thing is that the girls have also said that the other members at Wonderstorm are enablers. And that makes them just as guilty for not speaking out against Aaron Ehasz's actions. Of course, not everybody's going to agree with this, but it is a huge, huge debate of whether we can actually separate art from artists. And you can't. For the simple reason of that the art only exists because of the artist, and your support of the art gives the artist financial stability and financial means to continue making the art. And it only enables them to continue being an abuser, a manipulator, problematic, etc., etc., etc. A prime example of this is R. Kelly. Of course, Aaron Ehasz is nowhere near as bad as R. Kelly, as far as we know. As far as we know, all he's done is emotionally abuse women, which is not any better, but it's definitely not as bad as what R. Kelly has done and continued to do over the years, even though we had the knowledge to know what he was doing. So R. Kelly, if you don't know, if you've been living under a rock for the past, 15 years, maybe less than that. Regardless, he married a 15-year-old. I believe he was like in his 20s or something like that at the time. And people knew this and continued to support him because they wanted to separate art from the artist. And this only enabled him to continue abusing underage girls and enabled him to have people around him who gave him the means to have a sex dungeon in his house. And it was only after the money ran dry that people started coming forward about his abuse. Because for all this time, he's been supported because people want to separate art from artist, which still gives the artist financial... It gives them money to continue being abusers, and it gives them more support to continue abusing people. So all separating art from artists does is just enable abusers to keep abusing people, and more people are going to end up hurt, and more people are going to end up in bad situations. if we continue to support people who are abusive. I know you want to support the art, but in order to support the art, you have to support the artist. There's no separation. Any form of art is not passive, it is active. Somebody has to make art, somebody has to envision it, somebody has to have ideas for art in order for it to exist. And so, in order for art to exist, we have to support the artist. And you can say all day and all night that you're not supporting the artist just because you enjoy their art, but that is exactly what you're doing. So that is where I'm at, and I'm hoping this will reach some people and it will make them think before watching season 3 of The Dragon Prince, if they are still debating whether to watch it or not, because you can read in the tweets that they were terrified to come forward about what happened to them. But that's pretty much it, I think. I honestly probably will not be watching season 3, at least not right away. And I hope other people don't watch the show after they've heard of what's come out. I haven't even seen any videos on my timeline of people talking about this. I've basically only seen anything on Twitter. I haven't seen anything on... I saw one account on Instagram. I will try and find that and link it down below. But other than that, it's really like a small part of the Dragon Prince community that is really speaking about this, and it's all on Twitter. Which not everybody has a Twitter. A lot of people only know news when it comes out in videos, and I haven't seen any. But yeah, I highly doubt that Aaron ehasz is ever gonna see this, or anybody working on Wonderstorm, or even the 3 girls who have come forward. But to those 3 girls, you are incredibly strong. I hope that all your future endeavors are not tainted by what's happened to you. And to Aaron ehasz, do better. Be better. You were a huge inspiration to millions of kids on when you worked on Avatar: The Last Airbender, and you are still an inspiration to many of the kids who grew up and are now watching The Dragon Prince. Although there are some people who are watching The Dragon Prince who never watched Avatar: The Last Airbender, which is... But, and to the people who are inspired by your work, you need to do better. You need to be better.